kiting's just so much about the rush, the adrenaline. When I get a kite up, it's 100 mile an hour, straight away from the word go. You get on the board and you go out for maybe 3 seconds and you hit a ramp and you go whoosh. Time stands still. Sound changes. Euphoria. You'll land that 5-second air and you get about 2 seconds before the next wave and poof, up again you go.
Might be time to get a beer.
Fun to beer.
My name's Steve McCormack, and I've been living in Lennox for about 10 years now. Originally from Victoria, and got into kiting in about 1990, and then opened a shop in Geelong in 1993 with my wife and sons. And from there, we just became obsessed with kiting. People often talk about, going on holidays to find a great experience or a wonderful adventure. And I don't really care about them anymore. I just love to live here and kite this beach.
Don't give it away where we are.
Yeah, this beach can be any
You'll
beach.
have to cut that bit. My name's Neil Kennedy, or Keno for short. Born and raised here in Ballina. About 15 years ago, found kite surfing and never looked back. Let's hit it.
Yeah. It's so windy. I don't know whether we can handle this today.
Big kites.
Yeah, big kites for strong wind. All right, let's go.
It starts when the wind starts blowing up and the jungle drums on the WhatsApp start. Get down here and then eventually you decide on a time, and whoever's here at that time, it's packing the gear up, and then someone said they were going to be here and they're not here yet. So they're all looking at the watches and they arrive late, so they cop a Larry up for being late. Board, kites, harness, pump. Let's go kiting.
Over the years, I've noticed a lot of people that have high pressure jobs, they love kiting. As soon as you launch that kite, you're strapped to this 100 mile an hour potential device, and you get out there and you can't think of anything else except flying that kite. And you're just out there at one with yourself and nature. The way that I got involved in kiting was simply, I was looking for something that I could do that I loved and that benefited other people in a sort of an intangible way, but also didn't harm the environment or harm those people. And kiting just ticked all the boxes. And one day we were trading at a Sunday market, and I saw a kite there, and it was called the Avenger. And it was a 2-line stunt kite, 1.5 meters across. We did a deal, we bought it. My 2 sons and I took it up to the top of a big hill in Geelong where we lived at the time. And we basically got dragged around a paddock and got covered in sheep poo and had a ball. And I literally knew from that moment onwards it was the thing that I wanted to do. See how it tightens up a little bit?
Yep.
And then if I pull that, that will tighten up the trailing edge as well. And then I discovered the kite buggies, which was sitting in a 3-wheeled cart, 1 wheel at the front, which you had your feet on to steer, 2 wheels at the back, no brakes. You use the kite for the brakes. But then I started to think about, getting on the water, because I lived at Anglesea in Victoria at the time. And I thought, there's got to be a way to get on the water. Little did I know that there were lots of people already playing with getting on the water with all sorts of, boards and skis. And my first thing was, or invention was a set of old climbing boots that I glued onto a pair of snow skis. I cut the back off the ski, so I just had the front bit, and I'd power up the kite and try to go along in the shallows, but I just couldn't work out how to go out into the waves and then come back until I saw some other people doing it, and then thought, this has got potential. In the meantime, I'd moved to a surfboard with straps just bolted to the top of the board just by drilling holes through the board. It was pretty rough, but it worked. And we got reasonably competent at riding in the water in waves. And from then, the sport just blew up.
You got to have a passion. Doesn't matter what your passion is, and it doesn't matter if your passion changes over time, just as long as you've got a passion and a love of something. Mine used to be surfing, but probably nowadays it's more so kiting. Everything you need to have a happy life is sitting out there in that ocean. From dawn surfing, sitting on a surfboard watching the sun come up with the dolphins swimming past, to hooking up with a few mates and driving up the beach and pumping up a kite and then flying out over the ocean and boosting up into the air. The connection to the natural elements is very invigorating, and it's a great way to live. Time on the ocean's time well spent.